All right, welcome to Giants Nation. I'm your host, Bobby Skinner. Got an interview with Jordan Raanan on today. A little out of breath because we're trying to get the bus ready to go because it's going to start pouring rain here. Got a big announcement. I'm going to wait until we do the interview so you can get the announcement with Jordan Raanan. Gave him the Toney Award. We spent 45 minutes talking about camp, so I'm not going to give you any individual updates. We've only had 2 practices since the last episode, so I need to take a deep breath. You know what I need to do? I need to take a nice drink of body armor water. So it was a really good long interview, and we spent the first 5 minutes talking about the announcement and the Toney Award. So if you just have no interest in that, fast forward. But I think you should have a little bit in it. So before we get into that interview, Saturday, it's here. The Sussex County Miners game live show. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get them at scminers.com. We're going to be having a live show there at 5 o'clock. Gates open at 4:30. The bus is going to be there. And I said there'd be a raffle for the suite tickets, and there will be to get like an official number, but we may be having a point where we have 2 suites, and everyone who's at the live show gets to come into the one of the suites. So regardless, I'm going to be trying to spend as much time with everybody. So don't think that you're going to show up and never get to say hello or have a 5-10 minute whatever long conversation with me. I'm throwing out the first pitch, which if you've been a long time listener of mine, you know that I did make a promise back in the day of what I would do if I ever got the first pitch at a baseball game. So we'll see. There's going to be fireworks, the show. So scminers.com. Tweet at me your receipt of the tickets, and we'll see you there. Sussex County Miners. See you there, August 2nd, this Saturday. Come out, have some fun, and be there. But so let's get into this interview with Jordan Raanan, and here is Jordan Raanan of ESPN. All right, we now welcome on to the show Jordan Raanan of ESPN for an announcement and for a gift. Here you go.
Crown the champion.
So let's see it. This is the public.
I have not seen it yet.
You have not seen it, nor has the public. The new trophy is better, and it has a new name that you need to read aloud.
It has a new name. Okay, let's see. The big reveal.
Be careful, don't break it.
Drum roll.
Just pull it out of the box. Just pull it out of the box.
Come on, don't you know how to play these things up?
Pull it out of the box.
Wow. Oh my goodness. What is this?
Read it. Read the new name aloud.
Not sure you're a good person, but Best Giants Reporter Award presented by Kadarius Toney, formerly presented by Talking Giants, but now presented by Giants Nation Show. Jordan Raanan, 2024.
Yeah.
What
we saw that
beauty
right there. So we got the Kadarius Toney picture on it, and a man with a gun. So congratulations, you finally got it.
I mean, I can't say I approve of the man with the gun, but
you don't think people should be able to hunt?
Are you calling me a hunter?
That's what it is. That's a hunter right there. What do you think that guy's doing? That's not an automatic or anything.
It's a beautiful.
You're hunting for the next story.
There we go. I like it. Hunting for the next story. Always looking. And then look, hard work. If this isn't, validation for you kids out there. I mean, look at me right here. That hard work pays off, then there is no validation. Like, you're never going to get rewarded for your hard work. This is everything I've been working for throughout my career. You know what? I think this is the first award I think I've ever won in my life, at least professionally.
I actually think that I'm gonna try and make this nationwide and have each team have their own chapter, and it's got to be like I got to talk to them like what player was like the most disrespectful to the media, and that will be that award. Or maybe it's all Kadarius Toney, but usually we don't do this stuff in the beginning of the interview. We do it at the end and do the Giants talk. But it's the new trophy. Your time to win it. Do you have a? Please don't let it break because it's and I want that on SportsCenter. Do you have someone that you think is the favorite? So you're ineligible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is.
It would probably be ineligible, but yeah, I'm ineligible.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, ineligible man downfield.
Do you think this is the year we get a repeat winner for the Toney Award?
So, is there any rules except you can't be a repeat winner?
Oh, that's the only rules. The voting system changes every year based on however I feel. But so it's Duggan won the first annual, Art won the second annual, Ryan Dillon third, and you got a fourth. So you got a favorite. What do you think we got for year 5? It's now just a regular trophy.
Well, Novo is currying favor by doing the show with you. I think that's a pretty big thing. That will definitely give him inroads to.
He's got to
Now
start asking questions on my behalf too.
Ooh, if he does that, then I think then he'll be a lock.
Yeah.
So I think he's the early favorite. I mean, we're going around in circles, so you started to come around on Pat Leonard a little bit. So maybe Pat, like
He's never going to win it though.
probably not.
I think he's like a perpetual third place finisher.
But he's probably like he's one of those underdog long shots. Maybe we can get good money on, and then you could rig the vote, and somebody can come in with the underdog.
I'll never rig it for Pat. And here's the issue: is if the Giants ever get good, he has no chance of winning. It's just the team has been so bad that he's had like opportunities to make some plays. But hopefully they get good, and we just kind of eliminate that.
I also think a real outside, long shot chance that we shouldn't discount is Giants Insider.
They get votes every year, or vote singular. All right, let's talk about the actual. I've been looking forward to giving this trophy out.
I mean, I am very excited about that trophy.
Yeah,
it is going to go very prominently on the bookshelf.
I cannot wait for it to be on SportsCenter. And I'm actually not even going to put it here because I don't want the break. We're going to put it over here.
You're nervous.
All right, big announcement. This is something this is something I brought to you like a couple years ago, and it just never really worked, and not because from your end, but from just the other side and not being able to pitch it and make it make sense. You are going to be hosting Breaking Big Blue, which you already do, live on the Giants Nation Show YouTube once per week. In season, Mondays at 7. Off season, we'll figure out a schedule. It's going to be your podcast. I'm just going to be producing, but it's going to be Breaking Big Blue presented by Giants Nation Show Weekly. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Look, I think it's a perfect collaboration for both of us, to bring us together. We've done a lot together over the years, so it's sort of like the natural evolution here. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just fixing my sunglasses.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a natural evolution to have us jointly collaborate on something, and I look forward to us both being on it at times as well.
Yeah, and exactly, and then you can come on the show maybe for quicker segments at times, and so it's going to be live too. So we're gonna incorporate the live chat. Maybe at the end of the show, you answer a handful of questions in the live chat. So I'm really excited about that. And I've always said that I hope to get this big enough one day to where I can just have a beat reporter for Giants Nation Show. And that could be Danny King if he ever moves back over this area and quits TMZ, or I could figure out a way to get him fired. But I do value.
Really busy with the weather.
Yeah, but he can. That's a weekend job.
You can't just discount the weather.
He breaks news though. He did. People forget he did break the Ben Bredesen and Nick Gates were alternating, and you didn't credit him, and that's why you lost to Toney. But I do but I also don't want to ever be a beat reporter, right? Like there's obviously some crossover in the things that I do from the content side and be like, I also don't want to be a beat reporter. I don't want to go talk to all the players, and I don't want to form relationships with every player. I don't want to have that conflict of interest in my mind when I'm pissed off if he screws up a play on third down.
Yeah, it makes it a little more.
They're just different jobs.
Yeah,
but I value the angles from the beat and what you can get, and I feel like this is a nice, happy medium where it's it can get your show out there and live and stuff, and and I think it helps both ways. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I really am. I mean, we've been talking about it. Finally got the approval to do it, and now we kind of have like a blank canvas to kind of create whatever it is we want it to look like when the time comes. Like there could, who knows, we could end up having players on it. We could have it doing it live from a North Jersey bar. You never know. If you have any North Jersey bars, around the stadium or East Rutherford area that you're thinking about, throw them my way.
Yeah,
and I think something I want to look into.
Like you said, is a blank canvas to do whatever we want and try new things, and I think that's something I've embraced a little bit. And sometimes the shit doesn't work in the first 4 months of this. Is like try new things. Don't be so strict to the schedule and stuff you set up. Keep doing the things that have done well.
See what works.
So try different things. So I'm excited about this. So as your boss, how do you think Jaxson Dart has done so far? I've been holding on to that one for a while.
You've been thinking about that, huh?
Yeah. You think
I like how you started laughing before it even finished.
How do you think Jaxson Dart's been so far?
I think you see progression, right? Like the fact that the first few days he was holding, and even it was kind of in the spring, he's holding the ball a long time. You're seeing the ball come out quicker. It looks like he's feeling more comfortable. I thought it was interesting. He said, "Oh, part of the reason why is he's getting more freedom at the line of scrimmage." When he said that, that kind of caught my attention. Oh, okay. They're like letting him make adjustments and shifts and call audible type plays, or maybe at least switch to like you have 2 plays at the line of scrimmage and pick one of the 2. So I thought that was interesting, and also just feeling more comfortable with the guys around him and the scheme in general. So, but still, you see things like he threw. I thought that back shoulder throw on Tuesday.
Yeah, to Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah, like that. I thought that was his best throw of camp, to be honest with you. Like it's like the timing was perfect. He wasn't really open, but he put it exactly. They knew exactly what they were doing. I thought it came with velocity. Everything about it was perfect, right?
Yeah, and it's like I like just the progression part, right? I'm not going to be living and dying with every throw. Like this was a great throw. Like especially after the first 3 days, I kind of was like, all right, I just want to see because the first 3 days were really bad.
He was having trouble completing passes. Completing passes were tough the first few days.
Even throwing passes is just like it was
facts, right.
Dable, it felt like he almost lost his cool on him a little bit on a 7-on-7 where he's holding on to the ball for 6-7 seconds. He's scrambling to the left and it's like it's 7-on-7, dude. Throw the ball. Like it's like we're not here to improvise. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But throw the damn ball.
I saw Russ ground the ball in 1 7-on-7 in this camp. Did you see that?
I think that's I guess if you're,
it's like just throw it. It's okay if you try to fit him in 7-on-7. You should be able to try to fit a throw in, for God's sakes. Just throw it.
Yeah, but you've seen him get the ball out fairly quick and the quick game and stuff where they didn't complete a single just regular quick game pass for the first 3 days.
Yeah.
Now he's doing that, right? I think they're doing it a little more, out towards the sideline a little bit to simplify it and not have it in the middle of the field where it's a little more congested. But I think that's part of the development. And you're seeing him hit some of these intermediate throws. You haven't really seen him hit the deep passes a ton. His deep ball's been off a little bit, but I'm not going to stress about that.
The thing is, what I was saying was, so that one throw was so good, but then like they bring him back in for Jameis Winston, like right after that to like finish off a drive and feel good and get in the end zone, delay a game, snap off his face. So like that to me just shows what comes with being a rookie.
Yeah.
Like the natural ups and downs. Like there's going to be good things and there's going to be learning curve.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's exactly what that was.
And that's like normal rookie stuff. The only thing I was really frustrated with is like, you got to throw the ball though. Like you don't learn, in my opinion, as much from holding onto the ball forever. You learned that Trey Hawkins interception he had on day 2. That's the type of stuff you can learn from. I'm not saying I want to see him throw interceptions, but just holding onto the ball, there's not much teachable tape on that besides just going like, hey, go throw. This is what you should throw. Read the spacing, which they're already doing pre-practice in their film meetings.
Some of it might have been a result of his very first pass was a pick 6 in my way. So it's like, hey, I don't want to be out here throwing 3 pick 6s on my first day or 2 here of training camp. Let me just be a little on the safer side here.
Yeah, but like there has been legit progress, and we said he had that really great day on Sunday. They had 2 days where they really ran the ball, so there really wasn't much to judge, but there wasn't anything bad. Maybe a bad play here or there, but nothing just bad. And then today, day 7 was a good day. Like
he fit in some tight middle of the field throws, which we hadn't really seen.
Yeah, we talked about it on the live stream, like
Montrell Washington.
Yeah, Montrell Washington on the crosser against Dane Belton, and then a sail route right in between 2 zone defenders. Like we haven't seen.
That was a pretty good throw.
Like
I thought that was impressive.
It was a really good throw. We've been doing the videos on our streams. We played that one, and you just want to see. Like I thought we would have like at least one day by now where he would have 2 for 8 and another interception and stuff, but he still hasn't had that. And when he does have that, it's a little less alarming when you've seen that he's put together some good days like he has the last few days.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want to see from a rookie quarterback, though. You want to see,
especially when he's not going to play right away.
Right, you want to see when you make mistakes that there's improvements made, and and that it's getting better. And I think it's interesting because you say. He's not going to play. Well, the question is now, how much are we going to see him in the preseason?
Oh, he plays so much. I hope Tommy DeVito gets 10 throws.
Clearly, he's with the second team for a reason here. Like he might not be necessarily. There's nuance to him being with the second team. If like something happened to Russell Wilson right now and he pulled his calf like happened last summer, Jameis Winston probably would be the first team starting quarterback, right?
Right.
But you want Jaxson Dart to be out there with the second team, a better offensive line, better players. You don't want him playing with the third team, where sometimes the third team, let's be honest, is hectic. It's like nobody, you feel like half the guys don't know what they're doing. They're all over the place. So how much are they really going to want to put him on the field in the preseason, knowing he's behind that offensive line? Because look, when you have James Hudson, who's a second team tackle, right, and he's already now playing with the first team, you're basically taking a third team tackle and putting him in to protect Jaxson Dart. So now, it becomes a little dicey. Like, how much do we really want to risk? How much is this really going to show you what he can do if he's under constant pressure and, the players around him aren't up to par?
Well, I'll say this. I actually think that we talked about it on the stream today as well, yesterday when people were listening to this. I actually think the second team offensive line has been, like, performing pretty well, like, except for when Abdul Carter is on the second team, which a lot of times we come out in these training camps, like, I remember 2023, and hell, that ended up playing out when we saw the starters get injured. Tyrod Taylor was like, "Sit hut," and just running, like, because it was unbelievable. You really haven't seen that. There's some like, oh, maybe that would have been a sack, but there hasn't been like these disaster offensive line that makes it tough to practice.
I always say that happens every year, because if you think about it, there's situational pass rushers. These guys are basically starter type caliber players playing against backup offensive linemen, second team tackles, and you don't even 99% of teams don't want their second team tackle to get on the field ever, because they're not very good. So you have basically a starting caliber player who's a situational pass rusher who they just don't want to put out there on passing downs going against a tackle that's completely overmatched.
Right.
Which is what happens with Abdul Carter. Like, him against any of the second team tackles, it's like not even a competition.
But at least, again, there's
like Marcus Bowe, he might end up being a good player, but he has no shot against Abdul Carter.
No, I think my Bowe evaluation is like, looks pretty good, except for when he's facing Abdul Carter. But at least it's
that shows you, like,
yeah,
that shows you how far he is. Like, those are the kind of guys you got to play.
Yeah, for the sake of Dart, it's cool because he's not getting like this constant just pressure in the middle that just busts up plays. It's usually around the edge, like an Abdul Carter. To the flip side of that, the defensive tackle group is extremely concerning outside of, Dexter Lawrence.
For sure. Right now, they're thin, too. There was a bunch of guys missing today. Elijah Chapman, DJ Davidson, who Dable says away with a personal something.
Even though I saw him limping like crazy off the field.
He also was hurt the other day. I have a hard time imagining he could practice at this point. I don't know where he's at physically, but you're right. He was pulling. His leg wouldn't bend the other day when
maybe his outside thing was just another doctor.
Maybe. And then there was another guy missing today. Jordan Raanan wasn't there either. So like, you're three guys down, and then Dexter Lawrence is also playing very sparingly at this point.
It's like I was surprised whenever he is out there.
Yeah, he has like a snap like every once in a while. So now you're basically down 4 defensive linemen, and you haven't been very impressed with Roy Robertson-Harris, huh?
No, I think that if there's one, it was the signing I probably hated the most in free agency. I didn't like the James Hudson, but at the end of the day, it's a swing tackle. The swing tackle's not going to be good.
I didn't hear great things about James Hudson, but I'll say this about training camp. He could battle. He could get by. Like, he seems to be good enough to you, but you could get by with him for a game or two if you need to. Like, he's obviously not going to be great.
Yeah, it's not Josh Azudu or what,
It wouldn't be total catastrophe if you have to play him sparingly.
What I'll say is, what was I saying?
Roy Robertson-Harris.
Oh, yeah, I think he's been terrible. I mean, he doesn't really give you anything as a pass rusher, even though he is, like, better than the rest of the group because they don't give you anything. And in the run game, I just see him just basically on one leg getting pinned down, like, every single play. Like, every nice run is just right out of Roy Robertson-Harris's gap.
My only thing
and it seems like they're obsessed with him being the starter, too.
Well, I think they signed him to be that guy, at least to help them against the run. We'll see if it ultimately works. But, like, look, they were playing Elijah Chapman last year. I don't know if you see it. Elijah Chapman.
He's getting too many snaps now, I think, in my opinion.
He was out there the other day in a run drill, and John Runyon and I think it was maybe probably Schmidt, they must have sent him into, like, another planet.
Yeah, why?
And he was like 12 years. And look, the Giants don't, like, that's not his role. If he has a role, it's not get in there on rundowns where you're just going to have him, be a run stuffer. What does he weigh? 280?
But they do have him practicing, and like, it's not just like, oh, it's first, second down training camp. Like, no, 3 defensive lineman sets, which you're only doing that on running downs. They have Chapman out there. Like, in fact, that's a question I would like for Dable, or whenever you guys get to talk with the defensive coordinator or Andre Patterson next, is why isn't Jeremiah Ledbetter, who's not this game-changing run defender, but has a pedigree of being a decent one, why isn't he getting any opportunities when it seems a very, very weak group against the run? Darius Alexander, I don't know if they had the expectation of him coming in and being the day one starter, but I don't think he's ready for that or ready to be at least good at that. Day
He's
one,
more of a shoot the gap guy at this point than he was as a natural just run stuffer at this level.
Yeah.
Quite some time.
and I think he seems to be gassed quite a bit, and he didn't have the OTA. Springs Day was a part, so it seems like he's just not even.
Seems like he's
ready
coming back for some sort of injury, and it's been a slow progression.
Right, but even if he was fully healthy, like a third round pick should not be like, all right, that's our plug and play starter either at that spot. Why aren't they like working to put in the better run defenders in that spot? I hope that is
a little surprised that Ledbetter has been playing times taking like 13 reps. Then I am definitely a little surprised by that.
Yeah, so it's just that's a worry. But we were talking about Dex and him not playing. What have you heard with Andrew Thomas? Because you see him on the side field here and there. It was a first half of the season injury last year. What do you hear about Thomas right now?
I wouldn't worry too much because I heard during the summer that the plan was going to be bring him along very slowly. No need to rush him out there at the beginning of camp like right now. Bring him back middle of the summer. Ramp him up, get him ready for the one preseason game that they're going to play, right? So, I mean, you're talking about, what's that? The starters probably play, the third preseason game
It's
now?
usually been the second one, but it's now they have the joint practice for the second game. And so maybe Dable does it for the third. It used to always be the third game and then the fourth game off. Now they don't have the Friday game. But they have the joint practices with the second game, so I have no clue when that's going to be now.
Yeah, so whatever it is, ramp him up like a week or two before that, get him a few snaps in there, and then have him ready for week one. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I am overly concerned overall of whether he could stay on the field because big guys with foot injuries is something that's always concerning to me. You see big guys when they have serious foot injuries, and this isn't his first one, right? Like he's had ankle injury. Now we're talking about a foot injury. Like these are the kind of things that wear on 300+ pound offensive linemen or just like big guys in general. So it does concern me that is a foot injury. You just gotta, I don't know what you could do besides sit there and cross your fingers, but yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, who do you think the best player has been? And I hope it's your answer because I want to see Andrew Thomas out there at the face, who I think who's been the best player of camp so far.
I mean, I'll say Abdul Carter, but only because he's a rookie. Like Brian Burns has been pretty dominant too. So I think he's in that mix. But yeah, those two guys I think have just been dynamite. Abdul Carter, you just want to see what he could do, man. He's such.
Hold on, we're gonna get this guy on the show. Hey, you want to have like 10 seconds on the show?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Give me a 10-second take into the microphone. What's going on, dude?
How we doing?
You don't have to put the whole heads on.
Yeah, talking to the mic. Giants Nation Show is the best Giants podcast that there is, and Giants are gonna sneak a lot of people this year. I think.
What's your official record prediction?
I think record for Giants.
Yeah, 8 wins.
Costa.
Nice to meet you, dude.
Nice to meet you, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
So you know what I kind of find funny about this? It's like when you're optimistic at this point, it's like 8 wins. It's a losing record. Like that's like the best they could come up with. Like it like that. I do think it's a good thing that the expectations aren't like super high. Obviously, they went 3-14 last year.
Yeah.
But even like the dreamers at this point are like, you know what? 8 wins would be really good.
We'll get to record prediction at the end. And we've actually had the same record prediction on all 3 interviews so far.
Really?
Do you think Carter is like a?
Wait, is that the guy you would say? Yeah, that was your guy.
You could say Malik Neighbors is it, but
yeah, Neighbors has been awesome.
Yeah. So I actually would change. I would say Malik Neighbors, but Abdul Carter has been like the two. I know his
matchup with Illuminor is actually fun to watch when the two of them are matched.
Illuminor handles Kayvon and Burns pretty damn well, and then
he's a quality tackle,
and then Carter just has
a quality tackle in the NFL.
He's like a top 30 guy, and then when you put him at right tackle, that's like a top 10 to whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to do right tackle rankings right now. But he just has Illuminor in hell. Right, where again, Illuminor can handle Kayvon and Burns. They'll get some wins here and there, but he handles those matchups. And Carter just has him in hell. Like, and this is after watching all of training camp with him last year against these, Burns and Carter as well. It's just he is. I don't know what the record's going to be, and maybe that's not this year, but I just think I'm so confident that Abdul Carter is a a lot of wins to your team player for throughout his career.
So I was going to do a story on Abdul Carter, right? And I'm talking to a bunch of guys, and like just the things that they say about him. Usually, you have like, especially players, they have like reserved comments for rookies, and they want to see it, and you got to show it to them, right? When guys are saying like, "Yo, he's a monster. He's gonna be an all-pro player." Like Illuminor was just like, I want to play him every snap because I know that he's going to be a star player in this league. Like he's that good. And he was just raving about him. And like, you just see that basically across the board that guys realize like what kind of talent this guy is.
Yeah, and I think he is going to like, there's going to be no one who helps you get ready for Micah Parsons twice per year like Abdul Carter. Like there's no one else in the NFL who has that similar skill set. I've said I think Myles Garrett's better than Micah Parsons. I think Nick Bosa, but Micah Parsons is like the hardest guy to prepare for because he can just hit you in so many different ways. You can line him up all over the place. While those guys are kind of more your just standard defensive ends, even though they do a little more here and there. Like it's just I just feel like he's going to be a game wrecker right off rip. I said it on the most recent podcast that I know for sure he's a top 5 player on this team right now, and my bold take is that he's the 4th best.
Dexter Lawrence, Malik Neighbors are 1-2, right?
Yeah, and I want to see Malik Neighbors fix some of the details, and then I'll put him 2 over Andrew Thomas. But so right now I have Thomas 2.
I can't have Thomas 2 just because I don't know.
Health-wise, I'm worried about health. You can't injuries, just players. If you were playing a game tomorrow, everyone's healthy. Until Malik Neighbors fixes some of the details stuff, which again is you hold great players to that standard. I have him number 3, even though I expect him to get number 2. But the point being is, like, I think I have Carter above Burns now.
I need to see it a little bit before I believe it. Like he's still got.
I agree too, but it's just I loved him coming out of
one thing,
so
and
much,
this is why I don't want to go nuts just yet. The one thing, like when I was talking to a defensive coordinator around the league about Abdul Carter, and obviously the Micah Parsons comparison came up. Is he said he doesn't play with quite as much power,
right?
Even as Micah Parsons, at least Micah Parsons now of what he's become. So, I mean, it's interesting to see how that plays. Like, we're not going to really be able to see that until it's in game action, probably.
And that's definitely a fair critique, and those will be some down. But, like, he's just so disruptive that, like, okay, doesn't have the best power, but he just fucking beat you for 2.5 sacks, Like, I think he's a consistent double-digit guy, up into the teens as well. Maybe not year 1, but, like, we did our over-under. I think I put the over-under at 8.5 with him. And I was like, over, because he's going to have there's going to be some type of 2 games where he has a combined like 4.5 sacks, whether it's 2.5 and 2 or 3 and 1.5 or however we want to get there, and then he can get 4 or 5 sacks in the other 15 games.
Yeah, I mean that's a high number because look, it's hard to play 17 games in this league. You never know what happens. I don't know. There's just a lot that goes into it. Yeah, it was probably when you mentioned the number, I was probably about 7.5. But yeah, I mean, there's also the idea of they're gonna have to find playing time for all these guys. Like they're going to get Kayvon Thibodeau on the field, whether you think
Abdul Carter's going to be a header
or not.
Well, one way
maybe, but Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be the starter because he's going to be the rundown type guy, like especially like to start and base. So like they'll make sure to keep him happy with that, and then find ways to get all 3 of them on the field together.
One way is to drink Body Armor. This episode is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Rewrite your routine. I just finished one. Rewrite your routine and choose better with Body Armor. Body Armor is real hydration with electrolytes, coconut water, and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. With great tasting flavors like strawberry banana or orange mango, Body Armor will level up your hydration game. Grab Body Armor Sports Drink today at your local grocery store. Body Armor. Choose better. You'll be glad you did.
You're like a really grown up now. Like you're doing live reads for companies like Body Armor. I mean,
I'm an NASCAR driver. I take pictures. I hold the Body Armor up.
Look at you.
I come out to the bus after practice,
really grown up,
and crack one up like a NASCAR driver. So,
you're like a businessman now.
What
your business
actually that's
off the charts.
Good idea. What is one company you want to sponsor Breaking Big Blue that I aim to get for you.
Wow, one company.
What's something that you want?
Probably golf related.
Yeah, that's not happening. That
I mean, what
might have to change.
I mean, what am I gonna throw out, like Gatorade?
Well, yeah, that's a fucking direct competitor. So no, we piss on Gatorade here.
Watch your language.
The other things I want to talk about. I mean,
I'm into body armor, obviously.
yeah. The Russ stuff. I mean, Russ seems like he's just. I mean, not seems. He's the same guy every single day in practice. Like, there's not like this practice. Like, maybe there's a practice where he has an extra deep completion, but it's pretty damn consistent every day. It's like some deep passes down the field and checkdowns. Yeah,
Dump, deep. You know what you don't see?
middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, we know that, and it makes me think, like, what is Theo Johnson and the tight ends going to be in this offense? Like, when's the last time they caught a pass?
Yeah, it's literally
Last
just
one today?
check down. No, Bellinger actually had one from Dart. So
They caught it, but I don't think that was.
it's just check downs in the flat, and then they'll
Tyrone Tracy, I count was 90.
Oh yeah, like
Again, Skattebo are going to catch a lot of passes together.
my friend texted me about in my fantasy my fantasy football league. He's like, "What do you think about Tracy Skattebo?" I should have lied to him to gain an advantage, but like Tracy's gonna have a lot of catches, but Skattebo might have a ton of catches too. So I guess can't go wrong with both ways. Actually, let me ask you that: what's up with Cam Skattebo? He hasn't practiced in 3 days. What do you hear on that?
Yeah, I don't really know about that point at this point. I just heard it was a minor thing, and I'm surprised he's still sitting out there. I thought he'd be back.
Well, he went from the first day of full pads, just getting every carry and fucking not letting guys, tackle him, to just not out there.
I'm intrigued though with Cam Skattebo. Is Skattebo or Skattebo?
Skattebo.
Boo? Are we sure? I mean, I need to ask him that.
100% sure, because I figured that out after the draft.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. It's not BOO. Why would it be Boo?
Well, why is there 2 A's in the middle of your
Bo? Why is Bo? Yeah. Why is he even M? These are the things I think of.
The M is silent.
I'm well aware at this point. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm just curious to see how much his power plays at this level. Like, I think he's quicker and shiftier and catches the ball really well. So I think he has a role and a purpose. How well is that power going to play? He's small. Like, when you see him out there next to other,
but his legs are big though.
You think he's running over Abdul Carter's of the world?
Well, not Abdul Carter.
You think he's running over? You think he's running over a lot middle?
I think he's going to break tackles. He's not going to be fucking trucking them like Mike Allstott. I think he's going to break tackles.
Yeah. I think he can run through tackles. Yeah, for sure.
More positive impact on the team this year. This was an OTA question, but it's turned into a training camp one. Evan Neal or Jalin Hyatt?
Probably go Evan Neal, because I feel confident that at some point he's gonna get some starts this year and get an opportunity. Whereas Jalin Hyatt, while I think will be a contributor, it's like, what's his role if everybody, if they're healthy? If Malik Neighbors is on the field and Darius Slayton's healthy, like, he's an occasional.
Even if one guy goes down, his role isn't really any.
Yeah, what is it? It's like he's going to catch a big play. That's what his role should be, right? His role is to make an occasional big play. But I just don't. I don't see it, and I don't see him being good enough, probably either, but even more so, them being committed to him having a huge role here.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a fourth receiver kind of guy who'll get in. You'll throw him 2 targets a game. He might hit a deep one. Maybe he gets 3 targets a game. Like, it's not. How much damage can you do with that?
Right. But I think even if he gets, like, say Slayton gets injured, I don't think his role increases that much. He's just on the field a little more, because
then it's like 4 targets a game, right? He gets 4 targets a game and hits a big play or 2, like, and finishes with like 40, 50 yards.
With Neal, I have went from like not really being curious of what he looks like guard to now a little more invested. Although, while we're recording, the last episode, we talked about how he looked pretty good in some of these run drills. They've opened it up and tried to run some outside runs and opened up the pass game a little more since then. And you've seen his lack of movement skills really leave him behind on a handful.
So what would your answer be there then? See, yeah, that's how you know it's a good.
I think it's Evan Neal, because at least with Evan Neal, I have a benchmark of like become what Eric Flowers became as a guard.
Right.
Shout out Eric Flowers. You should get him on the show. Do you think he would come on the show?
No. So after the whole thing went down, I went up to him and I was like, because I was like, do you want to tell me, like, I was like, yo, we could always have a back and forth. If you have a problem with something I wrote or said, just come to me and tell me. And he was like, okay. And that was the end of the conversation. I was like, do you want to
ambush you on that?
Do you want to talk to me and tell me like what you were mad at or whatever? And he was just like, no, I'm good.
I've been out of the league for a while.
That was pretty much the end of the conversation.
With Neal, you have that's what you can reach for, and it's not the craziest thing in the world, even though I'm not convinced he's going to reach that. With Hyatt, you're just never going to be a top 2 receiving option on the team. I just don't see that, and if it is, that's a real issue. So I actually would agree, Neal. I'd probably say neither, but I'll go Neal because at least you can find, at least he's contributing every play if he's out there, where Hyatt kind of isn't, except for being just like a decoy.
I mean, they're gonna run the ball a lot, so that does play into like they're gonna try and play like old school type football, like run, dump, play a deep pass and lean on our defense. Hopefully, have a lead where our pass rush can actually do something.
Yeah, but let's say when Dart gets in there and eventually is hopefully a good quarterback, I just don't see Hyatt being a big part of that. Again, outside of, like you said, a deep pass here or there. Anything out of the ordinary, like surprising takeaway you've had through 7 practices? A guy that's got your eye that might make the team?
CB2.
Yeah, what do you think of that? We finally got 2 days in a row of the same guys starting the day, even though they still alternated.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think that Cordell Flott has an opportunity here if he plays well to grab that. Like they're making Deonte Banks earn it. Like they're telling him what you've done is just not good enough. And like he's had his moments even the other day, like, he's getting flagged again. You're like, you know what? He has to earn the trust of the coaches, and he's gonna have to play well this summer in order to do it. So I think Cordell Flott has a real shot.
Yeah, I think
real shot to win that job.
I'm pretty just done with Banks. All right, let's
and also
go ahead.
I think remember, it is a big part of it. Deonte Banks was Wink Martindale's guy. That does not help him in this situation here. So
I kind of elite that talking point though. Like Joe Shane, you have to own your first round picks. It's one thing to draft Trey Hawkins in the 6th round to fit Wink Martindale. I don't like the scapegoating. Well, that was Wink.
I just think it's a little easier for them to move off him if they're disappointed.
Agree with
saying, look, we drafted him at the time to be more of a man cover. We're playing more zone. It wasn't a great fit.
Agree. I think that's something that they will try and sell, and I think that's part of.
I've already heard
getting Jerome Henderson.
I already heard the little droppings that kind of have started to lead in that direction.
Wonderful. Another 1st round pick that wasn't their fault. Final, at least football question.
I didn't say that. You didn't.
What is your record prediction for the 2025 New York Giants?
Okay. So, Don Levy likes to make fun of me that I'm like super positive and Mr. Giant, and then ultimately my projection is very similar to his anyway. So, being Mr. Giant according to them and optimistic, which most Giant fans would be like, "What the hell are you even talking about? You hate the Giants, right?" Obviously, I hate the Giants. That's the narrative that we've heard. 6-11. Is where I land on the New York Giants in 2025. Better roster. Like, I look at their roster from top to bottom, and I do think it's significantly better. Like, I don't look at it like, man, if they lose a guy even defensive tackle, it's a question mark now, right? They started Elijah Chapman last year. If they were starting like he's 280 pounds, and as a 3-4 defensive end, like. They had some positions that you were like, these guys don't belong in the rotation. They don't belong in the NFL, like as significant players. And they were playing significant roles. And now at least I look at it like they're a more talented team, especially the defensive side. If they could put it together and Shane Bowen does a good job, like that could be a good unit. They just need enough from their offense to be competitive. The schedule does worry you though. That's the thing. You can't come up with anything too optimistic because that schedule is just pretty tough.
I usually try to I think this is the most we've ever talked about a schedule in the offseason, but
I too. I'm usually like, oh, things will even out over the time, but like
it's legit, and it's once you
I'm
go
sure
through it all.
some of these teams will end up being a disaster.
Well, here's
But
here's the flip side of that, and this is one of these points that I've made 10 times because football has been played for training camp. Is stuff changes. You know what I can see changing on their schedule? The 49ers not being a last place football team. The Chicago Bears being improved. Even the Patriots could make a nice little jump. Now, granted,
I think
can the Commanders take a step down? Absolutely. Like there's games that are winnable that they're not going to be favored in. I think the Commanders week 1, like they're still a very untalented defense, despite the fact that they could be a top 5 offense.
Do you know how many games are going to be as of right now they would be favored in?
The Saints is the only one that I know that they're favored in. Are they favored in the Raiders? I'd say 3. Let me just say 3. Is it just the Saints game? That's crazy.
The thing is, the Saints and the Patriots and the Raiders are gonna be on the road.
Yeah.
So
and
just by that,
they have at least have quarterbacks they believe in.
Yeah,
too.
they have decent quarterbacks. Like Geno Smith certainly has proven to be a
Who would have thought that
serviceable
Geno
quarterback.
Smith and Russell Wilson would be in this conversation right now?
You know who did? Well, I'm saying, who thought that Geno Smith would be a good quarterback and Russell Wilson was done? The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do a Ben McAdoo thing.
No.
Like, stop with the fucking Ben McAdoo. Guy literally
No.
He didn't answer a question that you guys asked and just stood there like a moron. And you're like, well, he liked Patrick Mahomes, so he was a good coach. That shit drives me nuts. When are we gonna do the first episode of Breaking Blue on the new platform? I was thinking maybe post the first preseason game.
Yeah, let's do sometime in August for sure. I mean, the first preseason game is what
It's the Bills.
No, but the date is the 8th, 9th.
It's the 9th. You don't you can do it.
Yeah. Somewhere around there within mid-August or to late August, we'll do the first one. Let's see what
So are you even going to go to Buffalo for that game?
I am not, but only because usually we don't go to preseason, but because it's Jaxson Dart's first game, I would have gone. But I have a family wedding that I have to go to on Friday night.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that first preseason.
You're going?
No, but I'm excited just to watch it.
I mean, the preseason is the preseason.
I love preseason because I me, I'm a freak for all 90 guys on the roster. Like when people ask who Montreal Washington is, I love the flex. Be like, yeah, actually, he was on the Chiefs as a practice squad player. When they won the Super Bowl, he converted to a free agent, and the Giants picked up him and Nick Jones, the nickel corner, who looks like the backup slot.
Do you carry a backup slot though?
If Flott's the starter, then I feel like you kind of have to because you can't just. I guess they would do that.
You can move the pieces around to make it work.
All right. So, what is your 53-man? No, that's an interview. I'm excited to get everything rolling. Congrats on the Toney Award. Did you? So,
thanks for bringing me on too.
Yeah,
I do appreciate the opportunity. I think it'll be good for both of us.
We like
to increase our audiences. To combine the two audiences. Breaking Big Blue. It's under Jordan Raanan at YouTube. That's Raanan.
Yeah, I like to help up and coming broadcasters and stuff. And as your boss, we're gonna make this work. So, yeah. Can you refer to me as my boss, Bobby Skinner? All right. No, seriously, I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be fun, and I think people are gonna be excited about it too. So
I appreciate for having me though.
All right. What do you think of the bus? Actually, that's the last question. What do you think? What do you think of the bus?
The bus is amazing.
It's
really starting to get cluttered in here.
Oh, it's very. If you can see off camera,
there's a bin here. There's a box. There's a TV. There's a TV box. There's just a lot of stuff. That's box. Yeah.
By the way, that's lit. We got this.
That's the one you need to clip. The
road by my staircase. So. We got literally
really good at sticking my foot in my mouth with these ridiculous sexual innuendo.
You know what I need to do is either if you want, we need to create like a logo for the show, or you could just use the Breaking Big Blue, and I'll get you some stickers made.
So, okay. You know what we do need to do? We should, as the intro, we should put together. Well, I know we had talked about this, of the clips of Stable just being Kurt, and
that would be very funny.
Getting out,
yeah. Oh, it's Jaxson Dart know how to say set Hyatt yet? All right, that's an interview. Jordan, thank you for jumping on. We will we'll definitely talk soon. I usually say that, and I don't talk to you for 3 months. We'll talk soon.
Don't lie. We text each other a bunch.
Yeah.
Text me out of nowhere. When Dable gives me a hard time, I'll get a text from you like 12 hours later about when you first see it.
I almost wanted to do a answer words per answer rate on Jordan's or
Everybody's answer very other
questions. Yeah,
You don't think
just what the average is.
Today he explained to me what it means to have a plan. Like we
My favorite was like,
we usually meet, and then when we meet, we talk, and we come up with an idea, and this is how we utilize it. Like I understand what a plan is. You can't just say, "Oh, we have a plan for Malik Neighbors." If I go to my editor and say, she says, "What are your ideas for stories?" And I say, "I have a plan." What's she gonna say? What's the natural next question? Well, what's your plan?
Can't give you that. All right, that's not an episode. That's an interview. Thank you for jumping on the bus. All right, thanks Jordan for jumping on. Go tweet at him about the new show. This is something again I wanted to do a couple years ago, but I just kind of knew with the dynamics of how everything worked that it would have never been able to work. So when I made the move to go independent, me and Jordan had conversations about it and got it approved on his end, and I'm really excited about this one because I like Jordan. I think he brings good insight from the beat. He does his own podcast. So to have, for him, it's like giving him, we figure out a split on how we want to do everything. It brings a live aspect to what he's doing. And like you said, maybe play interviews, maybe do some, shows and stuff. I think Jordan wants to do a little more with, what he's doing outside of just the regular beat reporter stuff. And then from my point of view, one, I like getting the angle from the beat and having, some more direct access to that on the channel. But you know what? Jordan's been doing it for a long time. He's got a big reach. Like, I think it's going to help the channel as well. I think it's going to raise all boats. I've been excited about it, wanted to announce this for a long time, and finally able to pull it off. So, again, it's going to be Mondays at 7 in the season, and then, we'll figure out how we're doing it in the off season or the non-game playing season. So, really excited about that. Go tell Jordan how excited you are as well, too. Again, come out to the SC Miners, the Sussex County Miners live show. Like, it's going to be a good time. I really think so. So we're gonna do the show, throw the first pitch, all that good stuff. So, yeah, we got. Let's see, we have 3 more regular practices. So Tuesday's show we'll be recapping those. And then you have the preseason game, and then the Jets joint practices. So time's flying. Appreciate you guys. We will see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.